Hey there, this is Heidi from Create with Heidi, and today I'm going to show you how to make a meaningful, personalized sign using the handwriting of loved ones. For this project, I'm going to be using black matte vinyl. I'm going to cut out the size of vinyl that I need for this project first. I'm going to be using a big frame for this project, so the piece I'm going to cut is also going to be big. Next, I will cut out a piece of black grid transfer tape to use later in this project. To get all of these family members' handwriting into SVG format, I used Inkscape. I uploaded photos of what everyone had written and then converted the JPEG to an SVG. It was super simple and quick. I like to get all of my materials prepped before I begin a project. For me, I feel like this makes the project go smoother, having everything cut out and prepped ahead of time so that I can move through the cutting process without having to stop and prep or cut multiple materials as I go. Okay, now that I have everything cut, I am going to remove that milky colored film protectant from the vinyl. This always needs to be removed before cutting. Now I'm going to take the protectant off of my cutting mat and get this vinyl on the mat so we can get it cutting. To get a big piece of vinyl on a long mat, I like to fold my vinyl in half. It helps me position my vinyl on my mat better. Sometimes I do have a little bit of adjusting that I need to do, but generally speaking, it makes it a lot easier than trying to maneuver a big piece of flat, flimsy material. Okay, everything is on the mat and good to go, so now I'm going to get this cutting. And like magic, it's all done. Now it's time to start weeding this. What I have here is a big sheet of I love yous and family members' names. This is a gift for the grandma and grandpa of the family. I'm using my X-Acto knife and I'm cutting around each of the I love yous so that as I weed, it will be a lot easier. This allows me to work in smaller sections, which is a lot easier to work with than one big sticky piece of vinyl. The first thing I'm doing for my weeding step is I'm weeding out the little pieces and the letters so that when I take off those bigger pieces, it's all done. I'm moving slowly as I work on this weeding so that I make sure I don't end up ripping any of the vinyl or pulling up any of the thin or small pieces or the dots. This vinyl weeds easily, but I like to move slowly so that I can be extra cautious and don't lose anything or accidentally tear pieces, especially with the thinner writing. I am done weeding and now ready to put the transfer tape on the vinyl so that I can transfer over to the frame. I'm going to start with just a little bit of the transfer tape exposed so that I can get it lined up exactly where I want it to be, and then I will slowly roll the rest of the backing off of the transfer tape. Now I'm going to use my scraper and go over the top of it, making sure it's adhering well to the transfer tape. I'm going to flip over my mat and roll the mat off the vinyl, which helps prevent damage to the vinyl. And then I will use my scraper to scrape the back side. The reason why you want to scrape on the back side is so that you are essentially pushing the vinyl off of its backing and onto the transfer tape. This ensures that when you peel that backing off, the backing comes off the vinyl easily and doesn't keep sticking to it. You can see here that it fits almost perfectly inside my frame, so I'm going to use my scissors and just trim a little bit off the sides so that as I start to apply it to the frame, it fits perfectly. Okay, it's ready to go. I'm going to use the same method I did when I put the transfer tape on it. I'm going to peel the back a little bit, and then I cut a little bit off the back. It looks like I need to cut just a little bit more off the top, so I'm going to do that really quick. You can see here I'm only cutting a little bit off. I just had the tiniest bit of excess, but that tiny bit makes all the difference in making sure it fits and lines up perfectly the way I need it to as I start to position it in the frame. I'm going to peel the back slowly in a rolling motion until I get all the way to the bottom. And voila! First, I'm going to use the scraper to get everything adhered nicely so that I can pull that transfer tape off smoothly and easily. I'm moving slowly so that I can make sure everything transferred onto the frame as I'm pulling it off. Now I'm going to go over it with my hand and make sure I don't have any bubbles. I have a little bubble right here on the eye that I'm smoothing out, and then I can keep going over the project. I like to review and fill the whole project so that I can make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm happy with it, so now I can put that little piece that ripped off where it goes. I'm using the back of the tweezer tool to push it down and make sure it adheres well to that frame. And here we go, it's done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching.